technology, how we could go anywhere with an air card and a laptop and do a show. And we're going to be doing this every Thursday at 3 o'clock New York time. We're going to go to different locations and interview about the issues of the day. Today we're talking, as Boaz suggested, about the number of combat veterans. The troops return home to broken homes, to a different family situation really than they left. They've been gone for so long, sometimes multiple tours of duty that they've missed wedding anniversaries and birthdays and holidays, and things have changed here at home while they've been serving their country in Afghanistan or in Iraq. And with me is Sean. He's an attorney from Connecticut here at Times Square. And you've heard about Paltalk, by the way.
I have heard about Paltalk, that's correct, yep.
If you're a fan of WFAN.
Yes, that's right. They talk about it a lot, yes.
So, well, we're thankful to them that they do. Sean, you know what the situation is. It's, we're supportive of the troops, whether we're in favor of the conflicts or not. And it's of great concern to all of us that so many come back with mental health problems and broken homes.
No question about it. It's I think one of the unique things about this particular war, as opposed to other ones, is the bigger variety of people coming back. We've got women coming back who are in combat, who are injured in these ways. Very young people and much older people. They're career service people who are well into their 40s and 50s who are serving over there. You're used to our service men being men, number one, and being 20, 22 years old. We're getting both genders and a mix of ages that we didn't have before. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because the National Guard and the Army Reserve, there are people like you and me who are getting called up over and over and over again.
Right.
Are we doing enough as a nation to help with the mental health issues of the returning vets?
I doubt it. I think that we're going to find that the facilities we have to care for those people are going to be under a great deal of stress over the next couple of years as the war gradually winds down. And I think we're going to have an increasing number of people needing those services. And I think that's going to be has to be a priority of the new administration to deal with those folks.
Do you think this administration will be more sensitive to the issue?
Yeah, I think they at least know there's an issue there. So, yes, I do. I expect that they will be.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Boaz, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. It looks like, the opinions are high and strong when it comes to the veterans and the care of the veterans. And it is interesting that, now, obviously, Gary, this is going to be a topic and a high priority. I hope at least a high priority topic once President-elect Obama takes his place in office at the White House.
There was a perception, Boaz, not to get partisan about this, that the Republicans tended to be more in tune with the needs of the armed forces than the Democrats. Whether that's a fair perception or not, I'm not one to judge. But it is pretty clear that, and as you probably know, I am involved in an organization, the Fallen Wounded Soldiers Fund, where we help returning veterans without regard to whether the people involved in the organization are in support of the war in Iraq or not. We support the troops, and so many of them come back to find that the services have fallen short of what they needed, especially when it comes to this issue of mental health. So many of them come back and only get a short time with the VA, the Veterans Administration hospitals, getting mental health care. The other problem, of course, is the VA hospitals, Boaz, are located in population centers, and many of our troops come from rural areas, so it's not so easy for them to get from their countryside homes to the VA to get the kind of treatment that they so richly deserve.
Indeed, Gary. And, Gary, before we go to our first caller, I just want to bring up that during after Persian Gulf War I, soldiers came back from the Middle East with post-traumatic disorders. And there was an issue, if you remember, Gary, with regards to a mysterious sickness that soldiers had coming back from Iraq, or that is from Kuwait, and wasn't really sure as to what exactly they had. Now, this was during the reign of the Republican Party. So, when you say that the Republicans were always better at taking care of the veterans, there is a bit of a fallout there, if you ask me. What is your opinion about that?
Well, let's be fair about this. If you want to go back a little bit further, there were those who returned both during Democratic and Republican administrations from the Vietnam War, having suffered from Agent Orange. They had cancers as a result of their exposure to Agent Orange, the defoliant that was used to get rid of the brush, so that the Air Force could see the Viet Cong and attack them. And the government, I think even to this day, has denied that these higher incidents of cancer were a result of their combat duty. Look, whether one is drafted, conscripted, or whether one volunteers, it really matters not. We owe a debt of gratitude in no matter what combat situation, dating back, we still have people who are alive from World War II, and we owe all of those who are still alive, who fought on behalf of this nation, a debt of gratitude. And we are so quick to, with pomp and circumstance, send them off to war. And I just think we're a little bit short of what we ought to be doing in terms of helping them transcend back into society when they come back, because it's not the same. Life does not freeze when they go overseas. When they come back, lots of things have changed. And I don't know whether everybody who comes back is prepared for those changes.
Indeed, Gary. And the bottom line is that we have to do everything we can, regardless of the political orientation, to help the veterans that have fought for our country. Gary, we've got a couple of callers here. Let's go to our first caller, who is Leah from Texas. Leah, welcome to Paltalk Unplugged with Gary Baumgarten reporting live from the field. Go ahead.
Thank you, and I want to thank Gary for his contribution to helping our soldiers and for covering this issue. One of the problems that had happened as well were the multiple base closures that took place under Bush Daddy as well as the Clinton administration, because as those closed, satellite VAs also closed as well. And that left a number of military people in the future without any references, particularly in those areas you were talking about earlier. But I'm glad to see, and also I think that a lot of people do not know that the military has picked up on this, and I'll go ahead and I will post a link in the room. If you are military and you have served and you have problems, you can click on that link, militarybehavioralhelp.army.mil, and go there and start the processes for getting yourself some help. The biggest problem is connecting to these individuals. It's very, very hard to get them connected up a lot of times. So I just want to thank you guys for covering this issue.
Well, it's our pleasure, Leah, and thank you for, I know you raise this issue a lot on News Talk Online here on Paltalk.com as well. And the good news is, Leah and Boaz, that there are a lot of organizations out there who fill in the gap, neighbors helping neighbors, to assist people who come back, and we need, obviously, more of that.
Gary, indeed, Leah mentioned, brought up an interesting point about the connection that we must maintain with the returning veterans. I remember going back to, again, Persian Gulf War I. There was a lacking of connection between the